Hey, I'm Kyle,
And I'm Brian with the Daily News Autos.
and we're out here today to compare the 2017 Kia Cadenza and the 2017 Buick Lacrosse.
Now, despite what their badges might suggest, these two sedans are actually pretty comparable in terms of features, price, size, and powertrain.
So let's see if Buick is actually back with a vengeance, or if Kia has done and beat them at their own game.
The Cadenza sports aggressive styling cues with luxury-looking lines and a more traditional three-box sedan design, with a taller trunk and sharp LEDs front and rear. Finished in the dark gravity blue paint job and wearing 19-inch wheels, you might mistake this Kia for an Audi if the three-letter badges were covered up with 4 rings instead.
The Lacrosse has a unique look and a style that's unlike anything else on the road right now. The face is much friendlier than that of the Cadenza, and the front end in total looks a lot like the Avista concept from a few years ago. The swooping character lines along the side taper nicely into a shorter rear that gives the Lacrosse a more coupe-like profile, and the C-shaped taillights are a unique touch on a full-size sedan, if a bit strange looking from some angles. 20-inch wheels look fantastic too, and might actually make onlookers wonder if this is in fact a Buick. Make sure to get this car in a metallic colored paint, as the design cues are largely lost when finished in white.
The Kia's luxury-like look continues inside as well, with this awesome brown leather interior, hand stitching on the seats, dashboard, and doors, and this fake suede headliner as well. Block out the badges and you could be fooled into thinking that this was a luxury car. Gray wood trim provides a nice contrast, and while the Kia's buttons are a bit more busy and somewhat illogically placed, with the climate controls and media controls reversed, it's altogether a more posh-looking cabin than the Buick, surprisingly.
The Lacrosse has its fair share of luxury appointments as well, including wood trim, leather upholstered seats, and this nice wraparound cockpit that really feels like it's hugging you as you're driving. Overall, it's got a nice premium feel to it in here. There's wood effect trim throughout for all you cabinet enthusiasts out there, and the integration of an electronic shifter, however frustrating, leaves plenty of room for a pass-through underneath that comes in handy in a pinch for small storage.
The rear seat of the Cadenza is not a bad place to find yourself either. With a decent amount of legroom, lots of headroom and shoulder room, and certain luxury features back here, like the sunshades on the side windows and the rear, and heated rear seats. Thankfully, the Cadenza delivers on comfort as well, with heated seats in all 4 corners on this top-tier limited model, and cooled power-operated seats in the front. Rear legroom is generous, though slightly smaller than the Buick, and head and shoulder room is larger. The Cadenza also boasts Bluetooth connectivity, connected apps, smartphone projection technology, wireless phone charging, navigation, automatic brake hold, a 360-degree camera, and a Harman Kardon stereo speaker system, all standard or available depending on which trim you select. Are we sure this isn't a real luxury car?
That isn't to say that the Lacrosse doesn't have a spacious backseat of its own. It actually offers a few more inches of legroom than the Cadenza, although head and shoulder room feel a bit tight. True to form, this Buick remains a comfortable cruiser for the driver and front passenger, with supportive seats that have heat, ventilation, and massage, at least on the premium trim level. Technophiles will be pleased with this Buick as well, because it offers GM's 4G LTE Wi-Fi system, Bluetooth phone and audio, smartphone projection technology, wireless phone charging, navigation, active noise cancellation, and cameras all around. It also has a useful park assist system, which controls steering for parallel or perpendicular parking. All the driver has to do is control the brake and gas.
As far as powertrains go, the Buick and Kia are pretty evenly matched, though the Lacrosse does offer all-wheel drive for snowbelt states, while the Kia is front-wheel drive only. The Cadenza's only engine is a 3.3-liter V6 with 290 horsepower and 253 pound-feet of torque, mated to an 8-speed automatic transmission. Power is somewhat available throughout the rev range, but this Kia is no barn burner, often wanting for torque when launching off the line and performing passing maneuvers on the highway. The Cadenza's steering and handling characteristics are unlikely to light a fire inside you either, with a lightly weighted rack and wishy-washy handling that are suitable to this type of car. Don't expect a grin on every back road, but if highway driving is your speed, the Cadenza will more than satisfy. Fuel economy impresses too, and while the EPA rates this Kia as 23 mpg overall, I managed closer to 24 over the course of a varied driving loop. And when the going gets a little hairy on the road, This Kia will back you up with active safety features galore, including lane departure warning, adaptive cruise control with stop and go, a 360-degree camera system, blind spot monitoring, and a color head-up display.
The Buick, at least by comparison, is downright athletic. With great power from a 3.6-liter V6 that GM has all but perfected after so many years of tinkering. 310 horsepower and 282 pound-feet of torque give the Lacrosse a sprightlier acceleration than the Cadenza, and the 8-speed automatic transmission in this car is a little better suited for more spirited driving. The Lacrosse will handle surprisingly well too. Keeping composed in the corners and giving you driving confidence you'll likely be shocked to find in the Buick. The ride is slightly softer than Kia's, but noise cancellation is superior and the handling is more accurate, even with a light steering rack. In terms of gas mileage, the Lacrosse will manage 25 mpg according to the EPA, with that number dipping slightly when all-wheel drive is equipped. Safety features impress too, with similar options to the Cadenza, with the exception of the previously mentioned parking assist system and the active lane keeping assistance, which can help steer you back in between the dotted lines, even if your concentration wavers a little.
Almost unsurprisingly, the Kia weighs in at just over $45,000 for a fully loaded model, with basically no options available and the features you receive dictated by which trim level you select. Frankly, that's excellent value for a car that contains many of the traits found in an $80,000 Lincoln I had last week, and makes the Cadenza a serious value contender.
This particular Buick is relatively well priced too, ringing in at about $47,500. That's after destination charge. When adding options a la carte like a dynamic driver system or a moonroof, things can get pretty pricey. A fully loaded all-wheel drive Lacrosse comes in at more than $50,000, and at that price, the competitive set becomes much larger and more luxury-oriented. I love the way the Cadenza looks, and it's a great alternative to some of the full-size sedans you see more commonly on the road, but my vote is with the Lacrosse.
I absolutely love the interior of the Cadenza, and at $45,000, this thing is really hard to beat in terms of value. But the Buick feels better built overall, and altogether way better to drive.
So, in a shocking turn of events, two millennials decide they'd rather drive a Buick.
And with that wild conclusion, that's all for now. I'm Brian.
I'm Kyle.
We're with the Daily News Autos, and we'll see you next time.